Let's give it up for Eric Braun. Eric Braun is a huge reader who also enjoys writing but doesn't do it nearly enough. He is a teacher and department lead by day who loves the written word. And also, this isn't on here, but there's also a quiz master at the school that he teaches in. So hopefully Eric and other people we've worked at the school also signs up for the quiz and everyone here. So one more time for Eric.
Thank you, Drea. I have kind of the honor of probably being the only person asked onto the stage because of a graduation speech. And it was really amazing to come back to this story. It was a big part of my childhood, especially the movie, and I haven't read it since I was very young. And because I was asked and a graduation speech was brought up, in my head, I kept writing a graduation speech. Don't worry, I'm not going to do one tonight. But I could have, which is what I'm saying. But as I went through the speech, I realized there were some themes that were standing out to me. And there were 4 themes that I really enjoyed thinking about. And there were 4 webs. And that's where I got my inspiration. I have 4 poems for you tonight, each one based on one of Charlotte's webs. Fair warning, though, at the end, after my last poem, there will be a brief moment of audience participation. So just prepare yourselves for that. One of the very first things I thought about being a teacher, thinking of graduation speeches, thinking of this pig, was Wilbur is the perfect metaphor for a student. And what poetic form do all students learn, at least in classes that I've taught, is a Shakespearean sonnet. And so this is a Shakespearean sonnet entitled Wilbur is a Student. In this essay, I will essay to show proof of my claim spoken with tongue of silver, a metaphor drawn from my life, you know, a student be the swine whose name is Wilbur. First plucked from mud and happiness is he, lured with food and forced somewhere unbearable. Surrounded, yet alone, learns A to Z, as he goes from Zuckerman to arable. He learns of quantities less than no thing, repetition, epetition to drill. The lessons that our hero pig's learning, when all he wants is to have Fern there still. He learns a true friend can cure any strife, and that the written word can save your life. And that was for some pig. The next web was terrific. And as I was thinking about terrific, I was thinking about how terrific the story is and how terrific the movie was as a child. It was a huge part of my childhood. We had it on VHS. We watched it at my family's cabin. We watched it at my grandparents' house, surrounded with cousins and aunts and uncles and sisters. And then I came back to the story as an adult and realized I saw so many different things that I didn't see as a kid. And so I am doing a new poetic form that I have. This is my first one ever. It's called an England Penveer. It's a Welsh form that comes in tercets, and the rhyme scheme from the first line switches in the second line. So there's an internal rhyme and an external rhyme. And what better way to model the difference between you as a child and an adult than switching the rhyme scheme? And this is called Two Pairs of Eyes. I saw Charlotte's Web when I was a boy, as film to enjoy instead of the book I also read. Summers with family at Lake Crescent, days are pleasant, memories, watching movies happily. And when I look back through younger eyes, not knowing why, I know that I truly adored that rat. With grown-up lens to the book I return and learn that it all depends on sharing moments with friends. And so to summarize the summer days, different ways the story lies, best seen with 2 pairs of eyes. And then we go on to Radiant. I'm an English teacher. I have a background in linguistics. I am a poet. I love words. Everyone here loves words. Words are radiant, words are powerful. And one thing about Charlotte's Web is that it's a story about the power of words. And when you want to talk about power, there's no better poetic meter than the alliterative verse of the Beowulf epic. And so this is called a web of words. Oink! Listen now to the tale of Wilbur the Wonderful. Smaller than his siblings, but with soul of superior size, twice named and twice named again, Wilbur's life was saved by words. Charlotte a Cavatica, weaver of not just webs, but of words, a spider with much to say, spoken from so small a spout, a voice of vanishing volume. Separate souls searching for friendship, 2 voices only half heeded. Each heard the other, and it was enough. But if words wield power, then so does the act of aligning our attention. Words work and rework our world, tell us where to look and to listen. After all, humans are easier to catch than flies with the right words. Words once written can carry an author's authority. People presume the perfection of what is perceived in print. And Charlotte, scribe and seamstress, found her phrases. And those who never learned to listen to a speck of a spinner read her writ and were changed forever. And then we moved to humble. And there was a moment that really struck me in the book this time around that went over my head. Since I forgot to do it at the beginning, I am a 6-foot-tall person, and my head is completely bald, so it would not have touched any of my hair. There's a scene where they're at the fair, and we see Fern slowly becoming interested in boys, riding the Ferris wheel. We see geese laying eggs. We see Charlotte approaching the end of her life, and you just have this moment where you realize that we're all part of the same cycle of nature. We might have a longer cycle than a spider, but there's nothing more humbling than realizing that we're all connected, humbling in a way that's also empowering. And there's no poetic form more humble than the haiku. And so this is called Summertime. The Ferris wheel turns, summer to fall, kids, spiders, have their own cycles. And I know we've been dreading the audience participation part, but I couldn't resist how it was going to end my graduation speech, which would, of course, begin with, Wilbur, I've known you since you were a runt, and now I can't believe you're on the stage with me. The ending, though, I'd like to co-opt something that is used to frighten med students. Look to your left, look to your right, and you will see somebody who is terrific and somebody who is radiant. And I would like you to be Charlotte for that person. Turn to somebody next to you and tell them that. And now, the final place for the power of words, I'd like you to, internally if you'd like, tell yourself that. Thank you.
Eric Braun.